Well, good morning. Today we're going to talk about multiplying and dividing mixed numbers. The key to this concept, really, when it comes to multiplying and dividing mixed numbers, is to turn the mixed number into an improper fraction. That's the real key here. Okay? Now, if you are multiplying, okay, and this is important to get in your notes, if you are multiplying, cross-reduce, turn to an improper fraction, and then if you're multiplying, cross-reduce if necessary, and then multiply across. And I mean cross, I mean straight across. Left to right, multiply straight across, okay? If you're dividing, you're going to use keep, switch, flip, which we learned on the last lesson, and rewrite the problem, then cross-reduce if necessary, and again multiply across, straight across. Okay? Now, if you've forgotten, we do have just a real neat method of turning a mixed number into an improper fraction. If you remember, we would take, we call it the wheel, 1 2/3. You take 1 times 3, which of course is 3, and then you would add the 2 of the numerator to that, and it shows it over here, 1 times 3 plus 2 over 3. You keep the denominator no matter what. You keep this denominator, and you end up with 5/3. Okay? So, you use the wheel whenever you have to change a mixed number into an improper fraction. Always use the wheel. Okay, so there's an example. You have 3 2/3 times 1 1/2. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 2 is 11, and you're going to put it over 3. 1 times 2 is 2 plus 1 is 3, and that's over 2, so you have a 3/2. Looks like that. Okay? And then cross-reduce, which of course, the only thing I can cross-reduce is I can take a 3 out of 3, and I get a 1, and 3 out of 3 here, and I also get a 1. So 11 times 1 is 11, and 1 times 2 is 2. I end up with 11/2, and then I just use division to take it back to a mixed number. 11 divided by 2, 2 goes to 11 5 times with 10. Subtract, you get 5 1/2. That's not too bad, is it? Really? Okay, let's talk a little bit more. This applies to like area problems. Okay? Find the area of a square which has a side length of 1 1/3 meters. Remember that area means that you square the length of the sides. You take the side length and you take it times itself. So that would be 1 1/3 times 1 1/3, and you could write it this way right here. Okay? 1 1/3 squared. That will give you the area in square units. Okay, so 1 times 3 is 3 plus 1 is 4. So then that ends up to be, instead of 1 1/3 squared, it is now 4/3 squared because we turned it into an improper. 4/3 times 4/3. No cross reducing here. 16 over 9. Do your division and you end up with 1 7/9 meters squared. That is the area of that square. Okay? When we have division, we use the same method except that we add one more step. 1 3/5 divided by 1 1/8 equals 1 3/5. You have to do your math here. Do the wheel. 1 times 5 is 5 plus 3 is 8. 8/5 divided by 1 times 8 is 8 plus 1 is 9/8. Rewrite it. Looks like that. Now we have to keep, switch, flip. So now we have 8/5 times, instead of 9/8, we have 8/9. Again, no cross reducing. 8 doesn't go into 9, 8 doesn't go into 5, 5 doesn't go into 8. There's nothing about 9 that goes into 8. So we just leave them and you multiply straight across. 8 times 8 is 64. 5 times 9 is 45. And then you use division. 64 divided by 45 goes in once, subtract 1 and 19/45. No reducing able because 19 and 45 have no common factors. Alright, we have one more that I'd like to go through, and this one we'll do from the very beginning to the very end, so let's try it. Okay, so we have 1 1/3 divided by 2 2/3. It's a division problem, so we're going to have to do that extra step. So 1 1/3 divided by 2 2/3. Okay, 1 times 3 is 3, plus 1 is 4/3, divided by 2 times 3 is 6, plus 2 is 8/3. Alright, now this is where we do our extra step right here. This is the keep, switch, flip step. Keep the first term, 4/3, switch division to multiplication, and then flip the last term, which is 3 now over 8. Now this one's going to turn out kind of nice because we can cross reduce. So I would take a 3 out of 3, that leaves me 1, and a 3 out of 3 here leaves me with 1. Okay, and then a 4 out of here, which leaves me with 1, and a 4 out of 8, which leaves me with 2. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. The answer, without any other reduction, is 1/2. So remember, when you multiply, okay, you are going to change the fractions to impropers and then multiply straight across, unless you want to cross reduce. Cross reduce if necessary. However, when you divide, you're still going to change the fractions to improper. And I'm talking about mixed numbers here, both of these. And then, rather than multiply, you've got to keep, sorry about that, keep, switch, flip first, and then multiply. Remember, this all applies if you are working with mixed numbers. Okay? Well, that's all I have to say today. I hope this was a good lesson for you, and if you have questions, ask me in class. Thanks.